That was some good participation there. You guys ready for your next comic?
Yeah.
Please give it up. Very funny, beautiful comic coming down from Estes Park. Give it up for I.O.
God, I hate being the center of attention here. Right. Not true at all.
Liar.
You made it. Sweet. Good to see some familiar faces out in the audience. Anyway, it was my birthday back in June, and I turned 46 years old. And I have been known to be seen with guys in their 20s. And people make an assumption about women in their 40s being seen with guys in their 20s. What are they going to call me? Who knows? Cougar. I am not a cougar. I am an environmentalist. And as an environmentalist, I understand that when it comes to guys in their 20s, no batteries required. And you can recycle them. In fact, they prefer that. Put them right back out into the community. And I live in Estes Park. You don't lose your boyfriend, you lose your turn. Which is why I'm down here. I'm tired of all the reruns. So I started rethinking my dating scenario. You know, maybe now that I'm 46, I should probably move from maybe the 20s to the 50s. So currently I am dating two 25-year-olds. So I did look at online dating, and I found that I can translate online dating sites by just what people put as a profile headline. So I'll translate a few of those for you guys to save you some time. This one guy says, free-spirited mountain man. Translation, I live in my truck, I don't have a job, and I would love for you to buy me dinner. And I want to get laid. Another guy says 10 fingers, 10 toes, and a brain. Translation, I don't have much of a penis. This woman says, if you want Barbie, go to Toys R Us. Translation, I am fat and bitter and I really hate skinny chicks. And this other guy says, let's bury yesterday and build on today. Translation, I was in jail prior to this. And finally, this other guy says, lonely musician in need of another human. We got engaged last week. So I ran into this acquaintance recently. She says, I.O., you're looking really good lately. What have you been doing? So I had to tell her, your ex. It's true. So anyway, it really happened. I don't make this stuff up. Anyways, I gave one of my best performances a couple of weeks ago, got a standing O, and then he came. So I got this text recently from this guy saying can't come over, something came up. So I wrote back so that I can help with that. Anyways, I moved out here from Florida back in 1995, and I was listening to the radio. This is for real too. And I heard on the radio about this school, and I always wondered where this school existed and where these people learned the particular trade. And I hear they're talking about on the radio. I'm like, oh my God, it's right here in Colorado. Right in Golden, Colorado is where you learn at this Colorado School of Mimes. I really thought that. I think that's cute. I love myself. Anyways. Anyway, who here is from maybe Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, Missouri, any of those states? Present? Nobody? Wow. Well, if you find someone from there, we need to help them out. So we'll have to send letters to those states going, it's all about driving. I commute down from Estes Park to Fort Collins. So for those people, even though you're not present, that's a good thing maybe, because this is kind of insulting. The gas pedal is the one under the right foot, and they need to push that harder to actually make themselves accelerate. They don't get that. They need to quit removing their rear view mirrors, because they must do that because they have no idea there's a line of traffic behind them. They're stuck behind like 14 cars. And then when they see that sign that says slow vehicle pull out, that means you if you're from one of those states, okay? And it is not a drag racing zone when you get into the passing lane. Please do not floor it when you do move over. We can't pass you. But another thing when I'm driving is they have this sign in the canyon that says, in case of flood, climb to safety. I'm sorry, if there's a wall of water coming towards you and you do not know to climb up, you do not deserve to live. We need to remove those signs and strengthen the gene pool. Cell phones. My cell phone is a possessed amphibian. And it randomly will jump out of my hand, dive into the nearest water source, whether it be my dog's water dish, the toilet bowl. I've lost many cell phones that way. But it also tends to make calls on its own from my pocket and my purse. You know, we've all had that happen with our cell phones. But that's not the worst part about my cell phone. The worst part is when I'm out of the bars with my friends, having some drinks, late at night, my phone, without me knowing it, is sending text messages to my ex-boyfriends. And I don't know about it till the next day. And I scroll through there, and it turns out in the earlier part of the evening, the phone sends stuff like, "You're a jerk, stay away, you're a loser." Towards the end of the night, "I love you, I miss you, can I come over?" And I don't remember it, so it must not have happened. So I only have a cell phone, and my mom talks to me pretty much every day. Either I call her or she calls me. But I don't want to be too rude and just get rid of her all the time on the phone. So what I do is when I'm talking to my mom, I start talking like Mom, can you hear me? And so she ends up going, "Honey, I think you're breaking up," and she drops the call just like that. Done. Don't have to talk to my mom. Quick way to get out of that, just fake it. But another thing about my mom is she's Jewish, so we're half Jewish, but she's always trying to get a deal on things, all the time. And she's also a little bit of a nervous person, like she won't walk out on the rocks by my house in Estes. But one day recently, a couple months back, she says, "You know, I really want to go skydiving." So I'm like, "But no one will do it with me." "I'll do it, Mom. I'm scared of heights, but I'll jump out of a plane with you. Why not?" If you want to do that at 70 years old, sure. So then she goes, "Well, it's too expensive." I'm like, "How much is it?" $200. I'm like, "You don't go looking for a deal when it comes to jumping out of a plane. You do not go to the guy on the side of the interstate with a little sign that says, 'We'll take you skydiving for food, bring your own chute.' That is not what you want to do when it comes to skydiving." I also had a roommate a couple years ago, and she was a really pretty girl, Christian girl. She came to live with me, and she always talked about God, had her little crosses up. She was 35 years old and a virgin still, so she would talk to me about that, knowing that I wasn't a virgin. And so she would explain that she's waiting for the one. So I thought, well, her birthday's coming up, I should help her out. So I bought her the rabbit. For those that don't know, that's a vibrator. That is the only one that exists out there. So instead of silent prayer, from her room, I started hearing screams of, "Oh God, oh God." Brought her a bit closer to the Lord there. Medical marijuana. I'm sure a lot of you guys have your card, or you're borrowing your friends. I foresee a day when pot will probably be legal, and here's what the typical work day would look like. You get up in the morning, this might be your day already, I'm sure. You get up in the morning, you make your coffee, you have your pot brownie, you finish getting ready, get out to your car, you start your car, get the tunes going, then you restart the car because you forget that your car's already running. Then you're sitting at the stoplight, and you are suddenly slamming on the brake a little harder because you think your car is rolling backwards and just everybody else is rolling forwards. Get to the office, you have your snacks and all, and then you're watching your South Park videos on the computer. And basically, the office of tomorrow will run just like the post office of today. Very slowly with glassy-eyed employees. So I am thinking about becoming a politician because I want to outlaw fluorescent lights. And you ladies would agree with me on this one. Here's why. Because of something I've termed fluorescent light syndrome. We have all seen the results of the syndrome. That couple in the restaurant or walking down the sidewalks together, and the woman's really pretty and the guy's like short, fat, and bald. You go, well, he must have money. Why did they get together? It's not money. Fluorescent light syndrome. Here's how it happened. They're on the first date. She's sitting across from him thinking, God, he looks nothing like that profile picture. But he's nice. I'll just get through the date. So she goes into the bathroom to get freshened up. And of course, there's fluorescent lights in there. You look in the mirror. You've aged by 10 years. Every wrinkle is showing. You look like something from Dawn of the Dead. You're like, oh my God, how's this guy even talking to me? I better hang out with him a little longer. Match made in the bathroom. Fluorescent light syndrome. Well, I want now to a cougar candidate.
Who's nailing
You prefer I be taking my clothes off, right? Get bigger applause there. So, you may think, people ask me, are you running for office in 2012? I say, you betcha. But that is not why I am here. I am here to discuss Bristol and Levi and their on and off again relationship. And here's the reason behind that. Bristol is jealous of me, her hot 46-year-old mother. And Levi, we know, is just 20 years old and one hunk of grizzly. And the summer days can be so long here in Alaska. And sometimes it can get hot. And Levi will come over to mow the lawn and sometimes take his shirt off. You know, he can mow my lawn anytime. Sometimes he calls me a MILF. What's a MILF? As you know, I understand those with special needs. Well, I too have my special needs, and Levi is there to help take care of that. And you know, when Todd's out on that fishing boat, I sometimes have Levi's photo from Playgirl, or he comes over to help relieve that political stress, you know. God bless America and all its cubs. Gotcha. I'm Ayo. Thank you. That's my time.
All right, give it up for Io.